What's up, everyone? I'm Gavin Dempsey. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, what's good, GD? It's Pink, Marcus, and Marcus. What's good? What's good?
What up? It's Charles. I am currently at 86% on my laptop. I'm currently in Copenhagen, Denmark, for some top secret content work, and I don't have a fucking plug adapter, so
There's
you gotta come more towards the center.
Hello.
And EE is in the frame, so there you go. Yeah,
Featuring
so
EE
we
shoulder.
definitely are on a time limit.
Yeah,
86% and counting.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 57. Pretty chill episode. Nothing. There was no extreme major tournament. There was a big Australian tournament actually, though. Neotono winning that with I'm assuming mostly Pichu, right?
Yeah, some hero. DD.
Bro, I've been saying
Wario.
Pichu good.
Okay.
I've been saying.
Bro. True. I'll give it
Pichu is better than people say.
I don't know about that, but I'll give it
Yeah,
up.
people say that character is trash.
I don't. Okay,
there's that European Pichu that's really good too.
Oh,
starts
yes.
with an N.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's so hard for me to pronounce. I know what player you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's very hard
solid.
for me to remember and pronounce all the names.
They got top 8 at Colossal, right?
Pichu is good.
I mean, Pichu's decent. Yeah. Good?
Okay. What character is better, Pichu or Luigi? Because they're both pretty similar.
Pichu.
You think Pichu's better than Luigi?
I think Pichu's low-key more consistent on paper, but Luigi's going to get better tournament results overall.
Luigi's the better tournament character.
Because people are going to make mistakes against Luigi, and it's not going to be fun.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think Pichu has a better matchup spread.
Those two, it's a problem. Pichu sucks. All right.
Moving on.
Pichu has potential.
Okay, buddy.
Oh, we went to the potential area?
Oh, guess what? I'm doing Metafy Classes now.
So classes?
Yeah, Metafy is going to do it. Basically, it's lessons with multiple people at once.
Yo, that's...
Oh, and you pay a reduced price or something like that?
Yeah, reduced price, because obviously it's not like a one-on-one coaching session, so it shouldn't be the same as the normal hourly rate.
How you do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to prepare. I'm gonna actually feel like a teacher. Any questions? Any notes?
In the house.
I'm gonna have a specific topic and stuff, and I think I can do it. I'm pretty excited. I have enough hours under my belt coaching.
I think you might know a thing or two about Smash.
And I've also been playing lots of Cloud Strife. I don't know if either of you have seen my Cloud the past few days.
You do soft down air tech chase. It is very strange.
It's getting better. There's moments where I feel like I'm clicking with him. Still lots of Sephiroth. I've been playing a bit of Diddy. I tried a couple games of Aegis today. Surprise. I might start practicing Aegis and see how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean...
Darkness is coming.
Yeah, the darkness, bro.
Not again. Why not? It's 2 games in a row. It's too consistent at this point.
I love your use of Nair with Cloud. I feel like that's one of the more unique things I've seen with your Cloud. You're able to just... Oof, nasty. But yeah, Cloud Strife. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised. I've wanted you to play this character for some time. I know when I was coaching you, you gave it an honest shot, kind of just like how you gave Joker an honest shot, but you kind of just gravitated towards other characters. But it's cool to see you coming back to the Cloud, especially with the what's currently going on in the meta. I think it's just a really good meta pick. And you kind of innovated that. You were one of the first people on the planet to innovate this character in Smash 4. So I think it just suits you well. Obviously, Ultimate Cloud, I think, is, I wouldn't say very different from Smash 4 Cloud. They still have a decent amount of similarities, but I mean, it's more of just getting used to the Ultimate engine and just not playing forever Limit Cloud, right?
Yeah.
You're playing a lot more Limitless Cloud, and Fair is more useful and stuff like that.
Bro, I will never forget in Smash 4 when Cloud came out and Gavin picked up Cloud and everybody was calling Cloud a mid-tier. It wasn't even...
Bro, it was so strange.
It was so weird. Everybody was like, bro, this character is trash.
I was trying to tell everyone, day one, that I thought the character was good. and they would just keep telling me like yeah, you just need to keep labbing. I think. I'm like, what?
Then you won your first tournament. True.
Yeah.
I was so happy when you picked up Cloud in Smash 4 because I remember I used to just keep an eye on a lot of the top players, but as well as like a lot of the high level players that were on the come up. And I always told so much people, I was like, once Tweek picks up a top tier, it's over. Like he's gonna skyrocket in placements. And right when you start picking up Cloud, I was like, yep, I was right. Like look at this shit. I mean, like the wins you were getting with Junior were insane, and Junior was a horrible character in Smash 4. And like playing a low tier in Smash 4 was not like playing a low tier in Ultimate.
Oh,
it was
no.
two very
Absolutely not.
Very different scaling of terms of like the gap. So
you live.
Yeah, I mean that was a huge jump. And do you guys remember when Cloud first came out and America were saying shit like, I think Ike's better? Remember that? You remember that? Because of a bad recovery. Doesn't that sounds kind of familiar? Hold up. Pyramithra, bad recovery, can't be a good character. Yeah. Like, come on, we've seen.
I didn't even know if Steve was good, and here we are.
Speed with range, it's like crazy.
Steve was a weird like, oh, this character's mad slow and he can't jump. So like, based on like Smash history forever, Steve doesn't seem good.
Mobility is like the number one thing we've talked about on this show for like over a year.
Yep,
we've been talking about mobility.
Well, no one knew about the fucking tech either. Yeah. I don't care who you are, and you're just like, oh, but I knew day one Steve was crazy. Yada. It's like, no, you didn't. Shut up. Like, you just. I mean, there's like some justifications where it's just like, oh, I've heard some people where it's like, oh, well, if you can make terrain, then like the chances of there being tech behind that is very, very high, right? So there's like that. I get that, and I was kind of on that train where I was like. I stood still in saying that he was a high tier because I was like, well, if you can build blocks, there's having faith that block will have tech was the main thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but there's so many other people that just you're just straight gambling. You don't know what kind of tech is going to come forward and stuff like that, and you just like assumed. But yeah, that's like what Steve.
It's interesting because a lot of these characters that are a problem like aren't technically that mobile. Like Kazuya and Steve, like they aren't that. They have like specific things that make them more mobile than you would expect, but it's still like even like Min isn't that mobile, and she's really good. Like Steve,
but
Kazuya.
Min cuts off mobility, which I think is like if you can cut mobility, then that is essentially your mobility.
Yeah, right.
Like just hold center stage or something like that. Yeah. And then Aegis is like all mobility.
Like.
Aegis is the most like
Proto just have so much discipline. He doesn't like Pink says he doesn't cave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just has mass control with Ram and completely shuts out your mobility and neutral.
Bro, he is so down with taking that 2% over and over again. I'm like, how do you do it? At some point, I'm like, I want to do damage. Like I'm tired of this 2%.
You know what character I think is good in this meta right now?
Hero.
What? Good guess. No, Marcus, what you can guess.
What character you think is good in this meta?
A character I've been thinking about that I think, like, as of this recent meta shift, is pretty good.
Bro, who's in this game?
There's a lot of characters.
Holy crap. I'm just going to say something off the wall. Robin. It's lit.
Bayonetta.
Oh, true.
I think she does well against a lot of these current threats.
Oh my god, no, I don't want to hear this shit from you.
I'm not going to play her.
You're not allowed to say
it's not 100% guaranteed that I'm not going to play her.
I'm about to say, you might.
Yeah.
No. Tweek has been saying that Bayo sucks forever.
No, it's the meta shift. You don't understand.
What do you mean? Okay, that's not fair. Because, well, it's kind of fair. So early Bayonetta had to deal with pre-patch Olimar, pre-patch Pichu, which were like pretty much unwinnable.
Yeah.
And then you had to deal with Pikachu.
Okay, and then we got out of the first 6 months of the game.
And then what? Snake, which was unwinnable. And then Bayonetta started getting buffs. And Bayonetta became playable then.
Kazuya, Min, and Steve are all winnable, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
I don't know too much about Steve. I would give it to Bayo against Kazuya because Bats would imagine I would help her get out of some
You just
stuff.
get bullied a lot.
And then we know Kazuya's
with
main disadvantage
yeah.
or his main weakness is disadvantage, right? And Bayo can blow Kazuya up in terms of recovery.
Yeah, I mean Bayo's been good for a while. I just think people are starting to explore Bayo a bit more, and like because of like the jab buffs, which is like it sounds crazy, but that's gigantic. Like just having like a move on the ground that could kill you.
Yeah.
That's like decently fast. Because
I'd
Bayo
say
has
it's like
been
a
really
tilt,
that.
about tilt
Yeah,
speed, right?
yeah, it's about a
Like,
tilt speed, which is good. Not like crazy, and it's not safe, but it's something new that you have to look out for. Which now it opens up like jumps, right? Because now that there's jab and dash grab that you have to worry about, or now people are going to start like jumping and you can get back air and whatever, right? But Bale's been good for a while, and she's had some good matchups against the top tiers for a long time. Like does well against Zero Suit, does well against Palu. I don't know if some people consider Peach a top tier. Yeah, Rob was like her most relevant. Like Rob and Palu.
That was the
like
one that everyone knew. Yeah.
the most relevant matchups for a long time. So with like Min coming through, they figured out Snake somehow. I don't really get that, but yeah, they figured out Snake. So Vale's matchups are getting better over time, and the characters that she used to lose to are a lot less relevant outside of Olimar.
all right,
Just saying, bro. It's interesting.
I've been I don't want to say like a crazy Bayo believer, but I've always believed in aerial ABK being very broken, and I'm also a believer that a lot of top players that only played Bayo because she was broken, like moved on from the character, and then I mean, just a lot of the other Bayos from Smash 4 just kind of stopped playing Bayo, right? Or like maybe not playing the game as much too. So I just feel like the Bayonetta community, there was like a hard reset. They didn't have like top player representation right off the bat. So it kind of felt like they were starting from ground zero. And even then, who was the Bayo that one Genesis that got like top 32 Shadow PR? I think is the tag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Right. So like there's been Bayonetta placings that have been pretty solid, like top 32
Before the
at
buffs,
Genesis.
That one is hard.
That is very hard to do, especially like, and I think Shadow PR had like now it's funny because if you played Smash 4, everyone knew the Bayo matchup, but if you play Ultimate and you hit an
it's
Ultimate
like one of the
kid,
strengths, yeah.
Yes. If you hit an Ultimate kid with Bayo, they probably don't even know how to SDI the combos. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's funny because SDIing Bayo's combos are like ingrained into my head. I know exactly like when and where, what resource to keep track of, all that other stuff, right? But it's just funny to me that it's a rare matchup and it's more of like you're playing the oddball pick, right? So despite that, though, I think Bayonetta players are getting better at playing neutral instead of spamming heel slide because you can do that. You don't have to heel slide. You can
I want to.
Yeah, I know.
But
you can space back air. You can down tilt. You can like fish for a rising fair one because you get a corner carry and a fair one, fair two. You can you can crouch at any given moment. You can jump ABK. Like that's an insane burst option. That's like more like when a burst option is debatable, like on the same level as Fox. You know what I mean? Like Fox dash attack. That's crazy. You know, and that aerial ABK crosses up shields too, which is wild. Obviously, the move depends on how short your opponent is, if how good it is, right? Obviously, against really tall opponents, which is why I think Bayo, no matter what, she'll be a good counterpick character. No matter
Absolutely.
What.
I think she has a spot in this meta that she didn't have before. Is basically all I'm saying, which is interesting because I like the character, but who knows if I'll actually play that.
Bro, Japan has Bayo like in like bottom like 10. Like they think that character is terrible. Yeah, so it's always interesting, like different metas around the world. You know,
they also think Sephiroth is way better than America thinks.
True, but for good reason. Japan, I agree with you there. True.
The thing with
hotel internet. See you.
See ya. All right, Marcus, it's me and you.
Oh, true. Yeah. So, bro, Sephiroth is crazy.
You think so?
Like, uh, Sephiroth with confidence is insane. Oh, welcome back, bro. Whoa.
You're all good.
It's all good. Hey, I see
That's
you
why I
knew
really
nice things
wanted to
about
see
Sephiroth.
Ken versus like American players, because we keep seeing Ken Sephiroth versus Japanese players, so that's why I'm happy we're seeing it like against more regions.
Well,
Exactly, like stuff like that, because I feel like America's a lot better against Sephiroth.
stylistically, I think Ken Sephiroth would do better against Japan. I think your Sephiroth would do worse against Japan just because you're not going to do forward air and back air 7,000 times. You're going to try to nair 7,000 times, and you just want to be a lot closer, and they just play extremely defensive. So
Yeah.
It's funny that the one American match that we got, like Ken versus an American, is against one of the most defensive American players.
Yeah, right.
I also think there's a lot of
true.
irony in that, but the Buzz obviously played it really well.
Yeah, he did. He played great that tournament.
Buzz was scrapping. Oh yeah, that was hit. That was a different Buzz, bro.
That was the Buzz with Rosatech. Pretty crazy. It's funny because I was talking to the Buzz about the Rosatech in general, and it's one of the few times I've heard him, as of recently at least, say like, man, it's so broken, or like just there was so much faith in it. It's interesting to hear him have.
You can see it in his gameplay too. He's so like
right.
he has so much
faith and confidence in Rosa.
Yeah, he's so creative with the character, You mentioning like my Sephiroth and stuff reminds me of like how nice it's been to be able to play Cloud and Sephiroth together. It's been really like covering each other really well. But then sometimes I think like that I need Diddy Kong or something too for like certain players and play styles. And then I'll play Diddy Kong and I think Diddy Kong sucks.
Oh, okay, buddy.
And then I'll try Aegis, and then I'll think about Bayonetta. But Cloud and Sephiroth, they're sticking around. They're the consistent ones right now.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I feel like I'm on the cusp of like figuring something out, but I just don't know what it's going to be. Whether it's a third character or not.
All I know is your Sephiroth has been playing very well recently.
Thanks.
And I think it's improving a lot. I think you're starting to. I think before you wanted to play Sephiroth like a certain way, and it was like bothering you that he couldn't be played the way that you envisioned it in your head. And now you're like, wait a second, counter is fucking broken. I'm just gonna do it. Like, because before I remember you said you treat it like witch time, right? Like, oh, like I hit them and then they're in disadvantage. They already used their double jump. Like, they're probably just going to swing on the way down, right? And then boom, you kill them at 70. That's sick. Like, outplayed, GG's. So you're starting to do more like up smash, and I've seen you doing forward smash for some reason. You're just trying to use all the moves, and that's lit.
Yeah. That always feels nice when you feel like you're not leaving any option behind.
Yeah.
With a character. I feel like I'm trying to do that with Cloud too. It's like, but then I'm like forgetting some of like the funny thing about my Cloud is I don't think it's that incredible yet because like sometimes I just don't up smash or something. You know what I mean? Like I'll like do like really weird options instead, like neutral air out of shield when I could like up B or up smash, or I'll like grab when I could have gotten a kill, or it's like I just need to get just keep playing him until like I get all the weird stuff out of my system and like master the basics.
Yeah, I feel like with Cloud especially, there's certain ranges where you can up smash, and like even if they shield, they don't get a KO KO punish, right? Like where they're able to KO you and stuff like that.
Kind of like Sephiroth down smash on a shield. It's like you're not going to break the shield, but the best thing they're going to do is get like a hit that won't kill you.
Yeah.
Right. And I know a month or two ago, we were talking about Sephiroth, and I think one of the biggest things we talked about in general was how, I mean, this is like when you weren't feeling too, like you felt like Sephiroth wasn't too strong. And I think the biggest thing was back then, like a month or two ago, you were trying to play Sephiroth, like no risk Sephiroth. And I mean, I generally think that the lower down the tier list you go, the more risks you have to take as a character to get
That's
stocks.
fair.
But Sephiroth's like in this weird middle ground because he has very high highs and low lows, right? Obviously, when he has wing, the highs are very high, very like that extra bonus resource is crazy, right? And sometimes you can live forever. And then sometimes you die at 80 and you don't get the wing and the lows are really low, right? But I think I feel like at the end of the day, Cloud, for example, is a character that can take almost no risks and get stocks.
Yep.
I don't think Sephiroth is a character that can take no risk and get stocks because his back air is not as good as Cloud's. Like Cloud's doesn't have as long of a range, but it's like I don't even know if there's a weak hit in that move, right? So it's just like even though there's less range, if you got the range of how far like it is the KO with the move, like how large the KOing hitbox is, and compare it to Sephiroth's like slashing like heart hit part, because a lot of people don't realize the close hit of back air is so bad in terms of like on block, like you just get punished for it, right? So it like kind of covers that range, but kind of doesn't if you block, yada yada. But yeah, I mean, Sephiroth, in my opinion, Sephiroth is just a character where you got to go for more like upbeat hard reads, like jump at them and like start charging and react, or you can go for smash attacks, right? Counter is another like huge like risk reward turn off. But the thing is with Sephiroth, it's like you tell a Sephiroth player like, oh yeah, just take more risk. But it's really hard to take a risk when you're playing a light character that's very tall and you don't want to die at 70 or 80,
Yeah,
right? So I think that's the really hard part for Sephiroth players to balance. And I'd like to hear how you kind of overcame that through your journey so far without Sephiroth, or with your journey so far with Sephiroth.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you've probably heard me compare him to like Ganondorf sometimes. Or like he could get a kill at a ridiculous percent, but it's like the riskiest thing ever. And then like I watched Ken play and like start doing really well at the tournaments he was winning and top 8ing. So and like when he was playing, it looked like he was playing Cloud, like just like back airing and like.
But there's certain counters that I felt like were just on the money. One particular one was I remember
to beat Shuton game 5, right?
Yes, Battle of BC.
Mm-hmm.
He has wing on ledge. He ledge drop double jumps back, then triple jumps forward on the stage. He and Shuton's playing Pyra. He like bets it all that Shuton's going to swing there, and he just throws out the counter. If Shuton did nothing, that's a wrap. That's the stock. He put himself in a position where the game was a 50-50, but he did it from a disadvantaged situation, which I thought was remarkable. Whether he didn't get the counter or not, I think that when you put your opponent in that situation, he's betting that you're a good player. He's betting that you instinctually take the bite.
Yeah.
Yes. Like because in that situation, instinctually, Pyra throws out the fair. If Sephiroth throws out the fair too, you either get hit, okay, that's fine, you're not going to die, or you get the trade, or you just win out, right? So 2 out of those 3 situations, you just win the game. And you're not even thinking about it. Like, Shuton just threw out that fair. That was an instinctual fair. Yep. Right? So, like, kind of betting on your opponent.
It's like when you're ledge trapping, you just see movement and you just, like, react, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think the best thing, if you're a player and you're, like, trying to figure out when to make plays like that, it all comes down to, like, how you think the pacing was going on in the game throughout the match. Like, for example, like, if you want to go for that counter we just talked about, like, has the player been playing really fast paced? Like, have they been like, reacting to everything? Have they been swinging a lot preemptively? And that might give you more information to like, have the confidence to pull the trigger. Is the character, is your opponent like, shielding and like trying to parry or disadvantage? Like, then maybe you don't want to go for the counter because they are trying to play reactively and they're trying to swing second. It depends on matchups and play styles and, stuff like that, but that's why like counters are so interesting because you can get really creative and add extra layers to them, like we were talking about with Marcus, like how sometimes I'll use it in advantage, which is like very usually unfamiliar, but I think it's because I had that experience with Bayo in Smash 4, and her counter was so weird that like it kind of expanded my thought process behind something like a counter. And I remember like week 1 of Sephiroth being out, I like countered like a cloud forward air at literally 40% in the middle of the stage, and they die, and I was like, well, like I gotta like go for that once in a while, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, the most interesting thing is about watching like Sephiroth players is you all have a different playstyle based on the, because it's a DLC character, you all have a different playstyle based on the characters that you played beforehand. Like,
Really?
I think the reason that Ken plays that way is because he's always played at that distance when he's been playing Sonic, and he's just so comfortable playing in that distance. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna use like the idea of the like spin dash as my sword, right? And like that burst range is my sword, and I'm gonna control this area because he's just used to doing it.
Yeah.
Where like you have played characters like Wario and Diddy Kong and stuff, so you're like, I want to use neutral air to get my combo started and then put them in like disadvantage and stuff. And Ned has played like swords and stuff like that. So he's like a mix in between the two of you, which is really interesting. But
yeah, I think the most interesting thing about Ned is that cloud experience too.
Yeah.
It's like he's been like kind of like me, like he's been waiting for this character, like for this moment. So yeah.
Like even when I play Sephiroth, I just treat him like Min. As weird as that sounds, like I'm just like, it's like
you can definitely try to
it's like 50-50 situations from certain distances over and over again. I'm like, oh, I like this. Like,
yeah, I know you enjoy playing Sephiroth.
Yeah, he's like my second favorite character to play, probably. Which is funny because Charles was like, I could have sworn you were going to play Sephiroth when he came out. It's like, somehow it's Min, man.
It's funny because like you play like Min. I feel like if you're a Min player, you can play Sephiroth like it's Min. But if you're a Sephiroth player, you're not thinking Sephiroth is like Min at all. You know what I mean?
They're so like they're low key so similar.
No, absolutely not.
Low key, they're very
no most complex character.
That's not even what I'm saying. Oh my god! Like for me, it's just like the neutral isn't that oppressive.
It depends. Like
I think on the character. Neutral is more like Belmont's than Min. Because the hitboxes are thin and cover a specific range, even though they're really big. And there's a little bit of like projectile play in there. At least my style is more like a Belmont than a Min.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like I just see like space control with giant buttons and like forcing my opponent to go to certain areas so I can do certain things because of those giant buttons, and I'm like, oh, this is Min. Like this is really easy. But you see like a different version. That's why we love Smash.
I want to see what you're seeing because that sounds very efficient. And it sounds like I need that to win. But like when I play, sometimes it feels like the moves are so much more like Belmont-esque. Like part of me wishes I could like angle my forward air and stuff because it feels like the hitboxes are big but thin.
Right.
So in some ways it feels like I don't have the range where it matters. And sometimes I'll be playing a matchup and I'm like, why do I feel outranged right now when I'm clearly not? But it's like because like maybe I'm fighting a character that has a hitbox that's like more circular and like generous and like whereas for like some of like Sephiroth's forward air, it's like just a line, like a straight line. Like so like sometimes I'll literally have the thought of like I'm being outranged. Like and I'll be like that something is wrong. Like I need to fix something if I have that thought. But I have that thought all the time where it's like range where it matters. That's what my brain thinks. It's like this character has like the range where it matters and Sephiroth doesn't. So it's weird. I've gone through so many different phases.
So I feel like there's never a situation where I'm like, oh, I didn't do this. Like I didn't choose the right option. Or I'm sorry, there's never a situation where I'm playing and I feel like there was nothing I could do. Like there's very rarely a situation where I'm like even if I play against Wolf, like I'm not that good against Wolf with Sephiroth, but like I know that I can force Wolf to go to certain areas and that they have to act first. Like that's like the Binman in me, right? Like just making the opponent act first and then following up with like
yeah,
however else I want to go about it, right? So like if I'm more of a counter, because I think I'm kind of a counter happy Sephiroth sometimes. I'll like go like, oh, Wolf wants to jump over forward tilt or forward air. They're probably going to forward air in after that. So I counter like 20%. Like, hey, just so you know, I'm aware. So
yeah.
don't go for those short.
Yeah, you got to let people know that you're willing to do every move.
Yep, every move.
Like, I'm gonna go for the smash attack at 60.
Hey,
once in a while.
Just so you keep on your toes, bro.
You may think I'm a top player, but I'll do something stupid.
All top players do something stupid.
Cosmos be F smashing.
Be up smashing.
Okay, Cosmos definitely be F smashing a little too much sometimes.
But I'm just saying, you thought I was a good player? No. I'm just gonna kill you with the smash attack.
There's so many times where I'm like, oh no, Cosmos has a lead. Please don't start spamming dash or don't start spamming smash attacks. You'll lose the lead. And then there's times where Cosmos doesn't have the lead. I'm like, please God, don't start spamming smash attacks and completely lose all hope of fucking winning this game. Like, no matter the situation.
It's a science.
You know what's funny? This reminds me of actually one of the first times I coached Gavin. And this was actually like I coached Gavin a little bit before actually joining TSM, just to see if we would like be a good fit for each other and stuff like that. And one of the things that I told him, I was like, bro, you got to get up attack. I'm gonna you need a get up attack at least once a game.
Yes.
And he was like, dude, it's so bad. And I'm like, I know it's bad, but everybody gets one. And I'm not even fucking joking. At top level play, everybody gets one.
Yep.
At least like a set.
You gotta roll too.
This reminds me of every time I talk to B, she's watched me play like more than anyone, right? Like she'll be right over there while I'm streaming. And she'll occasionally say something and she's always like, oh, you do this because you think it looks pretty and you don't do this because you don't think it looks pretty. And it's like, and I remember one time in my Twitch chat, someone said, I think Tweek does this move because he thinks it looks cool. Because the chat was like trying to decipher like why I was doing something. Like maybe it's the matchup. And I was like, and my mic was muted, but I said out loud, I'm like, this guy figured out my perspective of Smash and he'll never truly know that he figured that out. Like a lot of especially with characters like Sephiroth, like that I think are visually appealing, like just the way they move around and play, like most of my decision making is what I think feels like clean and beautiful. And that's why like Charles said, like he's like, you gotta get up attack or you gotta spot dodge, you gotta roll. Like
gotta spot dodge.
That's why like slingshot was such a blessing for me. Because I'm like,
slingies.
I'm not doing spot dodge or roll. I'm slingshotting out of here.
You do be I'm out.
Yeah.
I actually have a lot of friends that like someone play like Brawlhalla and like multiverse and stuff, but they'll like watch you play and they're like, I just feel like I really shouldn't tell you this. I'm not telling you this. Never mind.
Okay.
Because it'll blow your head up, and then I just
no. You gotta say it. We only got a few minutes left.
They're like, I just feel like when I watch Tweek, like I'm watching perfect Smash. Like this is just like it's like art. Like I just want to play like this. Like it just feels like everything he does is right, and I'm like,
it's funny because I get that a lot, and you would think you're talking about the number one player in the world, bro. I've never been ranked number one in my life. Like I'm like at the lowest point of my Smash Ultimate career, and like I still get that a lot. I feel like, I mean, I'm grateful for it. Because I feel like that's my goal, right? To like, I want my gameplay to look like that.
Hearts.
What's up?
Number one in our hearts is Little Tinker.
But like I get that a lot. Like I get a lot of people in my streams, or I get a lot of people coming up to me and like saying that kind of thing about my playstyle, that it looks like that it looks good to them, or they think it's like makes like the decisions like make sense. And it's just funny because you don't see me winning every tournament. You would expect they're talking about the player who never loses, which is like, you know, like MK Leo or Spargo. It's interesting. And you know what's funny about Spargo? Do y'all know why he plays Cloud?
Oh,
because he's a huge fan, man.
And now he's beating my ass.
Wait,
he's a huge fan of the guy who innovated the character.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Or that might not actually be why he plays Cloud, but I know like he was a really young kid who didn't go to tournaments, and he was like a fan. And now he's like literally statistically a better player than me.
Yeah, the come up was real.
It's funny how that works. And it happened so fast too. Like just showed up to tournaments and just started gaming.
Oh, by the way, SoCal claims Spargo. It's official. He
Oh, see you.
Yeah, Spargo didn't like
Speaking of SoCal, oh my lord, bro. Did you see them getting absolutely... Oh, you're back. What's good?
Damn it. Where did I...
Oh, okay. See you.
This episode is so random.
Hey, what's good?
Where did I cut off?
You claim Spargo. That's all we got.
Yeah, okay. So SoCal claims Spargo because he used to come to MSMs and Wednesday night fights, all right?
Yep.
We need something, damn it. We need
y'all
something.
claim Big Boss too?
I claim him too.
Damn it.
Bro, I was watching... SoCal was getting smoked by Sean. Oh my lord. What did y'all do? Yeah. Y'all messed up.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Why did I bring this up? Now you're going to bring... Dude, there are so many memes on Twitter that was like the Reaper and coming to all the different doors, and it was all the different SoCal regions, and then the last door was NorCal. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. SoCal's so washed compared to Smash 4. This stinks.
Bro, yo.
I mean, shout out to Sean, though. Obviously, amazing player. Definitely freed SoCal up, man. Freed SoCal up. But
I don't
you know what?
If he
Mad respect.
did better in any other region than SoCal. It's either SoCal or like Michigan or something like that, where probably the regions where like he did the best. But it's also not
we
fair.
We brought the power of Mexico when we couldn't do it?
Oh, yeah. Y'all had honorary SoCal too.
Yeah, we got not even honorary SoCal to save us. This is fucked up.
But he's gotten better like throughout traveling, right? So like it's hard. It's not fair to say like
because he's getting better so fast.
Yeah.
So much experience in like different regions.
Yeah. So like even if he didn't do too well in like Texas, or he didn't do well, Texas was toward the end, but the Texas character pool is just the worst I've ever seen. Or like he didn't do too well in like MDVA, like he's
I've talked about that before, how I want to like go to Japan for like a significant amount of time and like just get some practice, because that just sounds like next level, you know.
Bro, isn't that what Leo did?
I do have to go, y'all.
Oh, true.
But today was episode 57. We're almost at 60.
Bro, I love
Smash Con is
like
coming up soon.
These episodes just feel so much more organic than like being Smash ESPN, you know?
Review every top 8 player, review every tournament.
Oh man, yeah, it's like
we talked about myself a little too much though, but you know that.
I mean,
once in a while, you know,
the name of the
thing is
the name of the yeah. I think you talking is what the people want.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah, my stream is like, it's always so weird. They'll be like, "Does he speak?" It's like so like low key, like insult. It's like they're angry with me. Like,
I mean, they are angry. They want to talk to you,
dude. I always say this about the podcast: is it blew up because you don't talk, because people like never see that, and then they're like, "Holy shit, Tweek is talking! Like this is crazy.
He's a real human."
This was a marketing plan ever since Tweek started playing Bowser Jr. See, he knew. Just kept to himself, played Bowser Jr., built up the repertoire, switched to Cloud. It was all planned out. Still kept it on
Saved
the DL.
all these words for episode 57. But I actually do find it healthy to like talk about my like past week of Smash gameplay for myself, because I don't talk about it unless I'm here. You know,
self-reflection is a big deal.
Yeah, I'm like internalizing.
Whether you're talking to your friends or streaming or a podcast or what, like self-reflection in general on any aspect of life is amazing. And then obviously with your hobbies as well, right? And I mean, obviously for you it's your job, so it's really cool. And
I'm internalizing all of the stream practice sessions and like thinking about what's going well, what's not going well, like characters. And then I come on here and like it's usually not the main topic, but we usually talk about it pretty like all the time.
Yeah.
So it's cool to like, I don't know, it's kind of like a diary, but for everyone to watch.
And you're very complicated. Let's just put it that way.
True.
Guys, changing characters every month or two, like oof. I think it's funny because everyone gets to publicly see what I had to deal with, Swin, I was coaching you. So it's good to see. It's good. It's good that everyone gets to see it, but it's also a very fun journey, and it's a cool fun mix of like trying to figure out the meta with your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, B has to deal with it all the time too. Because like I said, like when I brought this Bayo thing up to her, and she's like, no. And like I can't even talk about the game with her because she thinks I'm talking about like switching characters.
Well, like, I mean,
yeah,
you might be, but
I also agree with the B no.
Oh my god! All right, I'm done. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. I have Metafy Classes now. We have a Patreon for bonus episodes, and see you next week.
How do you sign up? What the heck?
I tweeted out a link. They'll find it.
Oh, bet.
And see you at SmashCon as well.
See you.
Bye.
All right, guys, what's up? I'm here, downtown Rome, actually on my honeymoon. Had a couple drinks. I'm feeling good. And I was talking to Tweek, Charles, and Marcus about this, but I didn't want to go 2 weeks without being on the show, so I figured I would send them some questions or some engaging topics or whatever. Just Haz heckles a little bit, you know what I mean? Stick with me. So I've been thinking about this a little bit, especially on my flight. It was a long one, but we're looking at these characters, especially Steve and Kazuya, and you got to admit, very echoes of Smash 4, right? The final couple DLC characters really having a big effect on the meta. And even going back to Brawl, you think of characters like Meta Knight and Ice Climbers that really shape the meta, where character specialists or even high-tier mains say, you know what, fuck this, I'm picking up these characters. How do we see this kind of shaping up with Steve and Kazuya? Do we really think? We've seen people like Lavish was tweeting his frustration out, like, I'm going to pick up Steve, you know, it is what it is. How do we see that going? And I think a fair point, too, is we saw this initial boom of results with Bayo and Cloud early on, and then high-level players really developed the counterplay to it. We're seeing it in our meta now with Cola playing more Cloud than Roy and stuff like that, where these top-level meta threats in Cloud or in Kazuya and Steve are really having an impact on the meta. But where do we see the long-term effects coming in? Like, how do we see that happening? And, you know, I think still top-level Steves are going to do great. Jake, Yanni, etc. are going to be doing a great job still. But I think where we saw it too was like the mid or high level Bayos kind of started to fall off quickly in Clouds too in Smash 4, and even Meta Knights, right? And Ice Climbers, like it just fell apart because there was so much counterplay there. So I have faith in our top players, is what I'm saying. But what do we see being the long-term effects of these characters in the meta, and where do we see them shifting in? Is it top 5, top 2, top 3? Regardless, you have to prepare for them in a bracket setting no matter what. So either way, let me know what you guys think. Cheers from Rome. See ya.